Welcome to the Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. Discover less and enjoy our holistic resources. Join us weekly on Wednesdays for our live talk show discussing the topics central to maintaining the holistic lifestyle you want. Each week we bring on leaders, product providers, and educators to enlighten and empower your natural journey in wellness. Let us begin. Welcome to another Wednesday in the new year. This is the Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. We are here broadcasting live on Interlight Radio, known as the Healing Frequency. We are here each and every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Our show is live each and every week. The call-in number is 310-928-7733. Once again, 310-928-7733. Our website is getting some new work done to it, so it won't be up today, but probably will be tomorrow. We're rebuilding it as well. And that website is createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Once again, createyourholisticlifestyle.com. I hear some noise in the background from someone there. And our Facebook page is Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. Once again, Facebook is Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. With that being said, hey, Dr. Brookh, how you doing?
Oh, it's a beautiful day, sunshiny sun. We like that in the winter in Wisconsin.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Our neighbor.
Would you be mine? Could you?
Yes. You throw me something, neighbor. I mean, oh, we're being bad already. Dr. Rabb, are you there, sir? Dr. Rabb. All right, we don't see Dr. Rabb just yet. He's coming on in there. Okay. And the lady of so many different facets of love, Camille James, how are you?
I'm good. I'm going to go with what Dr. Brookh said. It's a beautiful day in the Midwest, so that's cause for celebration.
I know that's a lot of American flags flying around there, I understand, but we won't get into that this week. Maybe next. Oh, Dr. Brook's in on that one. I saw that mute button go off. Let me in on this one.
What?
I tell you, you're going to hop into the double dutch on that one. I tell you,
says the Canadian.
Hey, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Today we're going to be talking about how to cook things. We're going to talk about juicing, but more importantly, the equipment that you need to do these things. Some people don't know the difference between a blender, a juicer, a purifier. We need to get down to all that stuff because a lot of people are making decisions this year. Want to make sure they are getting the correct things. So with that being said, Dr. Brookh, did you want to share something this morning?
Do you want to give me a topic?
Well, you have a lot of good things to say now. I mean,
I do. There's just so much going on.
Politics, Bo. I'm, just go and say what you want to say.
Yeah, no, I think it's a lovely conversation we're going to have today. There's so many, when we're making our own money, we have this, we want to spend it in ways that are fruitful. And so I think this is going to be a great conversation. I love my champion juicer. I'd be happy to talk about that. But because, I think we're all, Camille was talking about it a couple of weeks ago, how it's kind of like an awakening. I don't know if that's the exact word you used, but just like we're all kind of discovering things about ourselves right now. And I hope that part of that is, what do I want to do with my body? And how long do I want to live? We don't have a guarantee. We could get smacked by a truck walking out the door, right? But if we have a choice, maybe we can make some more better choices. I've got a story about like a bit of a gout that I was getting in my toe. Mm-hmm. I'll be able to share that with the champion juicer thing today, actually, because I think getting old doesn't have to be full of pain and limping and tiredness. I think there's another way. Yeah,
you take that mentality, you're waiting to rot. It's just terrible. I was watching the Bee Gees special, and one of the Bee Gees living, he said, he said, what's interesting is I have more years behind me than ahead of me. And I went, ooh.
Right.
Ooh. I went, ooh. I wish
you
I
don't
didn't
think
hear
of it that way.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he said that, I got to find that Dr. Rabb. I don't know where he went.
And then, I hope he's okay. So yeah, no, and then, I guess we're just learning right now there's a new layer of taking care of ourselves, and maybe back to this champion juicer that's expensive. There's some expensive things that you can buy, but there's also some simple free things. The people who live off the grid, I think there's so much to learn from these people, because they can walk around your streets and pick up all the things that are weeds and know what to eat. And that there's a beauty in always knowing that no matter what, weeds will grow. No matter what. If you've ever had a garden, the weeds are there. But there's a lot of them that are lost medicine. And so I actually got somebody in last year. And she wasn't an herbologist. I can't remember her name. But she found 39 edibles in my garden. Just weeds growing up that we had, like behind the shed. There was a bunch of stuff. I was letting it grow. And she's like, oh my gosh, almost everything here is edible. It's insane.
It's interesting when you know what to eat versus not what to eat.
Right.
It always fascinates me. We'll talk about that a little later too. Dr. Rabb, are you there, sir? Oh, I don't hear Dr. Rabb. I know he's somewhere around there. Okay. All right. With that being said, listen, we want to get into this show today. I mean, I'm willing to learn all I can because I spend so much time at home these days that I don't even have the time to go out anymore. I can't go out anymore, actually, to eat. So I'm having to I'm trying to go to the store twice a week and get what I need so that I'm cooking it and trying to keep things as fresh as possible. So I'm trying to learn this whole new style of living. So when we come back, we're going to be speaking with our co-host, Camille James. She's got a lot of information to share, and she's just got a lot of love in everything she does. So I'm really looking forward to this because every time she talks, I need a couple of pens, to make sure I get it right. All right. So listen, if you just tuned in, this is the Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. And we'll be back. We'll be back with some great information for you.
Good morning, y'all.
Meet me in the marvelous St. Martin for an evolution into self-love and soulful living. Hi, I'm Bernadette Davies, founder of Agape Holistic Retreat in St. Martin and around the globe. We're an all-inclusive retreat in St. Martin and private retreats and around the globe. It's magical. www.agapeholisticretreatsxm.com. Attunement, enhancement, alignment. www.agapeholisticretreatsxm.com. Meet you in St. Martin.
My name is Michelle. I am the beauty boss of A More Beautiful You with Jafra Cosmetics. What is so wonderful about Jafra is that it is an essential business and fits into everyday needs for everyone in your family. Jafra offers over 500 products within 4 departments, and they are, department number 1 is our skincare department with our 5 exclusive Royal Jelly skincare lines powered by our Royal Jelly RJX technology. Number 2 is our on-trend gorgeous color and makeup line, a must-see. Number 3 is our fragrance from the world's top perfumers. And department number 4 is our body care for the entire family. Just added is our daily advanced hand sanitizers in 2 sizes. I invite you to visit my website to see more of A More Beautiful You with Jafra. My website is www.amorebeautiful-u.com. That is www.amorebeautiful-u.com. Thank you and stay safe and well.
Welcome to the hemp industry, including new product CBD-based discoveries is here. It is a smart, organic personal care option today. Industrial hemp is one of the fastest growing segments of the wellness industry and is quickly emerging as a lucrative business opportunity for many. This emerging industry strives to create products that are designed to revolutionize the way people care for themselves. These products are well formulated to produce the finest quality of dietary supplements on the market, derived from industrial hemp containing proprietary CBD compounds that help support the body's endocannabinoid system. For more information regarding hemp, nano water soluble CBD, CBD pet care, CBD choices for your complete body, and receive your home delivery, visit the Lifestyle Store at www.createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Once again, the Lifestyle Store. It's at www.createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Health is the new wealth.
All right, and we are back. So with that being said, let's get into this conversation about growing things, the type of equipment we need to grow things, and what type of equipment we need to juice things, and then the difference between what type of machinery is used, juices versus blenders versus purifying machines. I want to get into all that with the fabulous Camille James. Camille, how are you? But first of all, hold on. Dr. Rabb, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and you get discombobulated sometimes. So I'm way cool right now. I'm way cool.
Well, look, I'm going to suggest a song for you. It's by Taste of Honey, Boogie Oogie Oogie.
Hey.
Get down, Boogie Oogie Oogie. That ought to keep you moving, man. I tell you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Camille.
Hello. I miss being on here with you guys.
Yeah, well, we miss you too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Steven Spielberg
welcome back.
with no E.T.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Call me E.T.
I'm trying to phone the planet. I want to live. Where's the nutrition? Grow home, E.T., grow home. All right, Camille. You got the floor here. So let's get down to the basics, okay? Because first of all, before people start growing things, they're going to start juicing everything. But let's talk about the equipment first. All right. Now, what's the difference between the blender, a juicer, a purifier? You got some stuff that goes to the machine and a bunch of stuff comes out the backside. Is that still good? Can we do anything with that? Do we eat it?
Yes, yes.
I can ask all these questions, and I'm just not the guru.
That's okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, the difference, I'll start with the main two, and that's a juicer and a blender. And so basically, if you want to think of it like this, when you're juicing, you're using food as medicine. When you're blending, you do that as well, but you're also staying full because the difference between juicing and blending is fiber.
Yep.
So what you see come out of the back of so basically our bodies is ultimately a juicer. We eat solid food, it gets processed, and then it comes out the back door, right? Unfortunately, with most of us, so unfortunately for most of us, it gets trapped. And so you have a lot of kids still stuck on the bus. And that constipation then causes a whole host of illnesses and diseases. And I would say the majority of what I see happening is due to constipation. So with a juicer, it does the work for the body. And then that way you're not taxing the digestive system so much, and you're getting the pure liquid nutrition. But what you're not getting is the fiber.
I never thought of it like that. All right, so I might interrupt you a couple times just for clarity's sake. Okay, so basically, if we go through and we juice, that means only a liquid is going to come out. The other stuff will go out down the other part of the machine. That way the liquid's only going in the body. So we're saving the body the work of having to go through the intestinal tract, kind of do what the machine did. Is that
correct? Okay. That is exactly it.
Okay.
And but then we have the other side of a problem that a lot of us in the United States are suffering from, and that's a lack of fiber.
Yep.
Okay.
So when you think about fiber is like, you can look at it as like a sponge. And fiber is the solid part of the food that you're eating. And it is supposed to suck up the toxins and then be able to pull it out through the digestional tract. And then, but of course, when you have a lack of fiber and you don't have enough sponge in the gut, then it gets clogged up and it lines the intestines. And then you come up with things like polyps and ulcers and irritable bowel syndrome, things like that. And then that food just sits for a long time because you don't have that necessary fiber.
Hey.
All right, so let me, like I said, I made earlier. So in that case, that's for someone would want to do a colonic to help with clean that stuff out. Is that correct?
The colonic is very instrumental. Yes.
Okay. So that can help with that situation. Okay.
Yes, and not only colonics, but also chiropractic care.
Oh, really?
Yes, when the body is in alignment, then I call it cuts your light on. And then so, as Dr. Brooks can explain, when you are in alignment, then you have the necessary signals to tell the body what to do.
All right.
So yes, it's not just like a one thing that's going to fix everything. It's multiple healing modalities.
Okay, so let's let Dr. Brookh get in and explain that part of that alignment and what you're talking about, Camille. So this is good. So Dr. Brookh, you're up. Give it to us straight.
Sure. Well, one of the things that we have been pigeonholed into as chiropractors is that we fix back pain, which I guess is an honor, because if you have back pain, that's because the nerves in your body are telling your body that something's going wrong. But what are those nerves? How does the brain connect what it needs to say to the body? And how does the body tell the brain what to do next? Well, it's through your nerves. And so if those nerves aren't getting through to the places properly, then they're not getting the messages to and from properly. And so, so while I'm honored that chiropractors get to help people out of back pain, because more than 80% of people have that, it's really what's going on neurologically that's the most important part. It's kind of why, sometimes you'll see somebody sarcastically say chiropractors think they can treat cure anything. But we indeed don't cure at all. We just release that flow. And, hopefully there's different techniques you can use, but that's what it's doing. It's just releasing that nerve energy so that it can communicate better. And like Camille said, if we can eat the best food, we can have the best of everything. But if our body's not telling itself what to do, it's not going to happen. There's a great case. It was like back in the 70s. We've all heard this person. They jog. They have the great family life. They have a terrific nutrition. They're drinking water all the time. And then all of a sudden they drop dead. And you're like, what the hell? Like, what's the point? If they're going to drop dead and they do everything right, what's my chances, right? But very often, if you're stressed out and you're working on a computer all day long, which a lot of us are right now, and you're hunched over, that's the nerves right in the top of your back there that go to your heart. So, do the calculations. I used to know the numbers on this, but if your heart is beating one more or one less beat per minute, how many is that a day? That's right. Well, 24. That was not the equation. I didn't do that right. But if it's altered, it's altered, and it's not going to get your blood and your oxygen and the nutrients around properly. And we're just talking about the one to the heart. So You've got the whole rest of them. So yeah, it's super, super important. Love it.
Okay, so all right, Camille, that was interesting because I never thought of it quite that way. Please continue.
So we talked about our juicer and our blender. So that's the difference. The difference is that juicing is going to give you pure liquid nutrition, which gives the body a break. Because actually, the body will spend up to 70% of its resources just digesting food. And that's why it's important not to eat after 10 or 8, start beginning around 8:30. I like to practice slowing down.
10 p.m. or 10 a.m.?
p.m.
Okay.
And giving your body, because your body is either doing one or two things. It's either building up or breaking down. We're breaking down in our waking hours, and we're building up when we surrender and sleep. So anytime that you can give your body a break, so if you're one of those kind of people who don't sleep enough, then you really need to give your body some kind of help by doing things like juicing. So that's just a little bit of energy that you get back to do things like, rebuild your cells. And it's so many beautiful universal things happening within us that we have no idea. So anyway, the body needs those resources. And that's what juicing will do. So I like to use juicing as medicine. So as soon as I get that liquid nutrition under my tongue, in 15 minutes, it's in my bloodstream. Versus when I'm eating something solid, with more fiber in it, it's got to first go down my digestional tract, and that can take up to 45 minutes. And if I'm clogged up or constipated, that could take days or weeks. Or if it's so much toxic waste in the system, then whatever I take in, it cancels out anyway. So juicing gives me that instant medicine. Blending keeps me full. So that's my substance. And so I'm still getting the nutrition, I'm getting the fiber, and I'm getting that sustenance as well. So those are kind of the difference. I hope I explained it.
It's so brilliant what you just said there, because I think sometimes, I'm going to have to speak for myself. When I think of, food as medicine, you automatically think, well, I'm not sick. But, we are all these different levels of health right now. And when you said, if you didn't sleep well, the juicing is my medicine, that's so brilliant what you just said. I'm just
Thank you.
trying to wrap my head around.
Just a little change in perspective.
Yes.
When you see okay, I'm not sleeping, so then where am I going to give my body a break?
Right. I mean, this is the little things that, we see people who are successful and we try to track what they've done so that we can repeat it. Well, this is a health benefit for that. We've watched, if we do those little things, then our outcome has
to have some balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
Right.
Love it.
So that's the difference then, with juicing and blending. And then you talked about, and then we have, other tools that we can use that I use in the industry, and there are things you can do at home as well. Like I love this whole new air fryer. I'm like, wow. But we have things like you also, as far as your tools, of course you want your knives, your peelers, you want to keep, and here's another tip I want to say to people. If you are not plant-based and you're eating meat, you need to be very careful and designate plant utensils or bowls or cups or whatever that you're using. Have a second set so that you never cross-contaminate.
So,
and like when you're using it, you mean?
Say that again.
Like when you're using it, you mean?
Yes, how we use, our bowls, our knives, things like that. And so I have a set for different things, so that they're only touching plants. And so that's a tip for people out there. But so I hope I answered that first question.
Yeah. The only thing I do want to add to that for you is, so what's your thought and process on individuals that use the slow cooker, crock pots, and things like that, right? And
yes.
like beets or ginger in the water, and they'll cook it slow for a little while, so they have the ginger root and the juice. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, teas. And that's a wonderful way for people who are new to water drinking, which we shouldn't be new to that. But for those who are like, I need more water in my diet, teas are a wonderful way to get that in. So here's the tip though, when you're seeping or you're making teas or soups, if you want to keep enough life in there, never cook over 300 degrees. If you cook over that, you begin to kill the living enzymes. And that brings me back to the first question. What are those benefits with the juicing and the blending? With the juicing, when you're using a high-powered juicer, these are your commercial juicers like Jack LaLanne, and I mean, there's so many out nowadays. But when you have a high-powered motor, it's usually heating that juice up, and that's why you have to drink it immediately. Because anything over 300 degrees, you're going to lose the living enzymes. And the living enzymes is what's giving you life. And that's why my company is called Juice for Life, because you're literally drinking living enzymes. And those living enzymes go into the body, and besides going into the bloodstream, they begin to break down other solid foods that you eat. So like if you had a hamburger and you got the meat, the bread, the patty, the lettuce, tomato, onion. It's the lettuce, tomato, and onion that have living enzymes that is supposed to break down the solid food. But most of the time, people don't elect to get the lettuce, tomato, and onion. So now they're stuck with a food that has no fiber and is just going to sit there in the gut. Now you got problems.
That's interesting.
Yes, very much so.
Very interesting.
So,
a lot of different facets.
All right. So
my sister-in-law got me. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say real quickly. So, Dr. Rabb, you should probably be taking something. I don't think you can take it all the time if someone's doing it correctly. That Cascara Sagrada, would that be something that could help them? The herb that helps with the digestion.
Ooh, what?
Cascara Sagrada. Well, it also has laxative properties as well. It's just a matter of learning how to combine these things properly to, not overwhelm the body and not harm the body at all. Because a lot of the people, when they get into these like herbal laxative kind of things, if they're having constipation problems, and usually that happens because they're not putting the right things in their body. And the body's not digesting, because if you put the wrong things together, they're not going to digest together. And we keep eating it's going to build up pretty soon. It's going to build up a lot of problems in the body. And so we need, Cascara is a good herb, but we don't want to get into where we're using too many laxatives. Say Cascara and aloe. I mean, you get all these things going on, and now you're creating a problem where when you do a good detox or a good cleanse, you have these things, put together properly, so they're not doing that. They're not overwhelming the body. They're doing a process of helping to get this waste out over a period of time. So as you have to really look at the difference between that. And another thing, there was a doctor some time back, and he made a statement about the juicing. He said too much of the juicing of the real sweet fruits will cause a problem, because there's no time release mechanism there. It just goes wham right into your system.
Right. That's right. And nothing to coordinate it. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, Dr. Brookh, you're going to say something. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to mention, I love the crock pot just because it's so convenient, but it's also, you've got to remember, killing off everything that's in your, like Dr. Rabb often talks about live food. That's the nice thing about juicing, is that you're juicing raw vegetables, and, hopefully it's not getting too heated to kill it. But in the crock pot, there's almost no chance that you're getting a lot, there's not a lot of nutrition when you've cooked something all day long.
Nope.
So, so just that's something to remember. I mean, it's this toss up, when you've got a busy family and you're trying your best to give them nutrition. I've even heard people juicing, and drinking the juice and then making sorry, this is, it's offensive to even say, they make brownies and then they throw the refuse, like the stuff that you're not supposed to drink, all the fiber that was come out. But the problem with juicing and then using that stuff is that's full of all the toxins too, like all the herbicides and everything that come out of the juice, the fruit or vegetable. That's in that clump of stuff that you usually compost or maybe throw out. So, we're being taught these stupid things, honestly. Like, you can't use the most toxic piece of something, throw it in a brownie and think that's nutrition. But we're told these things. I was recently on a post with some other people that were talking about what's the worst thing you've been told by a medical specialist. And one of my things is, one of our patients was told to feed their newborn chocolate milk because it's the best way to get calcium in them.
Yeah.
So this is what people are learning. Wow. This is what they're being told. Life could be so much easier if we just ate food natural, and I don't know. Sometimes I shake my head. But they're being taught this way. We're being mesmerized by lies everywhere.
Baffled with bullshit.
Right. That's a good one.
All right, Camille. All right, you're back up.
So I'm so grateful for the days like this where you ask us questions about the easiest ways to give nutrition to our family. Because maybe we can talk about that a little bit. If we have a busy family, like Camille, you were talking about the you were talking about the air fryer. Like, what are some good things we can do with that?
You know, we lost
Do you have
Camille.
recipes?
For some reason with Camille. I think she had an internet problem here. Let's see if we can get her back on there.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think we lost Camille there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have to wait to get her back. Jamal have to bring her back on.
So the air fryer, I guess I can talk a little bit about it. It's just a great, clean way to cook your food. So if you're looking to make an investment to make, your life easier, instead of deep frying or cooking it a lot, for long hours, you can do that. But then you throw a nice fluffy salad with it. And I like to take my carrots and I use the peeler, that you usually just use for, to get the peel off. I make a pretty long string of carrots on all my lettuce salads, just to make it pretty and happy and with the kids are younger.
I never think about arranging those colors, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, there's easy ways to throw. And sometimes the kids just don't want to eat a carrot and it falls to the bottom of the salad. But when you make it into a ribbon like that, it just stays mixed up and delicious. And sometimes they play with it. They've made flowers with them and all kinds of awesome stuff.
Making it relevant. All right, Camille's back.
Sorry about that. Yes, I was having technical difficulties.
That's no worries. We're just waiting here with bated breath to see what you're going to say next. I've already got a page of information. I'm writing number 2 on my next page. All right. So, we did the crock pot. So, all right, this is what the equipment is. Okay. So let's talk about what to put in the equipment to stay healthy. And then let's talk about growing. Okay.
As far as what to put in there, I love
what put in the blender. Yeah, blender versus a juicer versus a crock pot.
Well, I love what Dr. Rabb said, and this is something that I stress a lot. When you are juicing or even doing smoothies, you're doing protein shakes, oftentimes we go for the fruits. And like he said, that's way too much sugar straight into the bloodstream. You're going to go through what diabetics go through. And you're
said it like crack.
Yeah, it truly is. That's kind of where it hits the brain, the same place that cocaine hits the brain.
Well, and a lot of times people aren't giving their kids a chance. They're feeding them all these sugary fruits. And their palate gets used to that. So when they go to vegetables, they're gross. But we know that once you chew a vegetable and chew, it turns sweet itself. So, yeah.
Yeah, that takes some practice. And then we have to remember that oh, my God, there's levels to this.
Ooh, the truth is coming out.
There's levels to this. But, when you do, she's right, though. I mean, as you begin to really get into this lifestyle, you can chew greens and something like collards and actually taste the sweetness in the collards. But that comes with, practice. And, and so be patient with yourself. But as he was saying, you want to stay away from, just going for fruits, especially when it comes to those smoothies, because, really, if you're trying to do it to lose weight and then you look up and you're over 300 calories, you might as well have ate a meal. So I like to say, 2 vegetables and a fruit. And if you're going to go fruit, one of the best ones, and this is the one I'm recommending to a lot of people right now, is cantaloupe. And that's because it's low in calories, it's high in fiber, and it's just one of the ones, especially because most people are getting into this lifestyle because they're trying to lose weight.
And that is considered a year-round fruit, right?
Yeah, well, where you are, yeah. Okay. But here, us in the winter, then we have to start depending on the imports from, the West Coast and the East Coast and areas where the climate allows for that. So we can't start growing melons until after, and near the summer. So it just depends on what area you're in. But if you're lucky enough to be in my hometown and where you guys are in LA or California, you have access to, those melons. Another thing to think about is food combinations. So, when you're dealing with like watermelon or melons, you should not be mixing anything with that.
There it is.
Because now you're going to cause a storm, an acidic storm, gas storm in your system. And, and then let me backtrack, because I really wanted to start emphasizing this to people, because now that we have COVID and everyone is a lot more, they're dealing with colds and flu right now and allergies. And of course, everybody thinks, oh my God, I caught the COVID. So now that we are there, here's something I want people to know. If you are on prescription drugs, please, please, please talk to the dealer who gave you the prescription. You need to ask this person, you gave me this prescription. Is there anything I need to know about this? Because when you're using food as medicine, it is know that the medicine that you're taking was actually derived from a plant. But it's a copycat and it's man-made. Therefore, there are issues and side effects. So when you try to combine holistic medicine and allopathic medicine, you can either cancel out one or the other, or you could really hurt yourself. And then if you're doing you're doing cleanses and things like that, and like especially when it comes to grapefruit. And if you're taking certain medications, you can either intensify it or cancel it out. Or if you're flushing and detoxing, you're flushing and detoxing out a medicine that someone prescribed to you that your body has now become dependent on. So what I find is that a lot of people will finally come and jump on the natural path. And then when the natural way is combating with the allopathic way, they want to blame the natural way. Like, why am I so sick? Or like you're going through drug withdrawal.
Oh, right. Right.
So, that's what your problem is. You got to first go back and talk to your dealer and say, hey, what are the consequences if I just abruptly stop taking this medicine? What are the consequences if I flush it out of my system? Because that's what natural medicine and things like beets, beets and blood thinners, they don't go together. You can have a stroke. Right. So because of the vitamin K, because the allopathic medicine is taking the place of the natural way. So your body then says, all right, I ain't got to do the work. I'll depend on this medication. So now when then you just want to say, okay, natural body, take over. It's like, yo, I've been on vacation for years. And now you want me to work? And so, you got this battle going on inside of you because you're doing both your pills. And then when I talk to people, sometimes they're reluctant. They don't want me to know what they're taking or what they're on. And I'm like, you got to do this to save your life. And you have to be very honest. And it takes a minute. So you do go back to your doctor, whoever wrote you that prescription, and you say, how can I safely get off of this medication? Does this medication, is there any foods that will counteract what I'm taking?
A lot of times they don't know that information.
Correct, because physician in Latin means teacher. But we don't have any of those hardly anymore.
Nope.
Right.
So if they're not talking about, you need a new physician.
Yeah.
Right.
So what happened is I asked the question of that, look, how do you get off of something that you're on? And they just tell you the levels it should be when they test your blood, and that's about it. They don't
exactly. Or they scare you to death.
That's a generic.
Yes. Or they intimidate you and scare you to death and have you feeling like, if I don't take this medicine, I'm going to die. And when you find out that this person whoever it is has you on a medication that there's no end game, then you need to reconsider what's going on and say, then why am I taking it? Because I thought this had an end game.
Well,
But also, if you are taking something that the doctor gave you, I mean, yes, okay, what are the side effects? They'll tell you, like, a few. But go home and look up that drug and then everything that's inside of it, and you'd be surprised because sometimes it will tell you, don't take this with this.
Correct.
But the doctor
right.
had no idea. So do the research on that, for sure.
Yes, and definitely for those who are on 2-3 different types of high blood pressure medicine, because the first one didn't work and neither did the second one. So when each one of those has a host of combative consequences. And so when you start to take the natural path, be very honest with yourself, be honest, ask questions from the person who actually prescribed it to you. And then when you're ready to come on over here to the natural path. So some wonderful things you can do if you, let's say you are on prescription drugs. Let's start with more water. Because and all the foods like with juicing, so like juicing, blending, smoothies, whatever, really it's basically your food has water content in it. Really, water is the most powerful ingredient on the planet. So before you even think about juicing and blending, make sure you're drinking enough water. Because the juicing and the blending won't work unless you have enough water in your system.
We gotta go to this topic. I get sometimes emails from different health organizations. Don't drink cold water, Then drink lemon water. I mean, you have these things with water. Don't drink alkaline water. Drink distilled water only, or just filtered water. But what got me was that don't drink cold water.
Right. Well, you're shocking the body, and then it's just going to hold it until it gets to body temperature. Yeah. So if you don't want that bloated feeling, I would say drink because the body's still going to hold it until it's, the right temperature.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's cold. Too cold of water is a problem, but if you don't really need ice water. People won't drink ice water when it's hot. That's not a good thing to do. Just drink some room temp water. It's not a beverage. It's something that's helping to hydrate your body.
Correct.
So you don't want to.
Well, a lot of people got to get over that one. But listen, we're coming up. Let's take a break and get back to this conversation and come back because this has been very educational. Just tuning in, this is a Great Holistic Lifestyle Show. We're talking with Camille James. She's breaking it down for us. Dr. Rabb and Dr. Brookh are chiming in on this information today. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Detox Jenny here. Is your digestion poor, painful, or just plain stuck? If so, please consider doing a short 3 to 10 day juice cleanse with my company, Earthly Juices. You can visit us at bringmejuice.com. You will be surprised what a difference a short cleanse can make within your body and your overall well-being. Our organic farm-to-table juice cleanses are handcrafted to exclude your allergies and geared towards solving your health issues. Call 310-404-6804 and mention this show and receive a free quart of juice with your first order. You can also find us at www.bringmejuice.com. Or you could write us your detox questions at earthlyjuices@gmail.com. We can't wait to bring that juice to your doorstep.
I tell myself again and again, I'm happy about my favorite juice from Jen. I tell myself again and again, well, Earthly Juices, they make the best juice cleanse.
Hi, this is Dr. Nathan Rabb Jr., host of The Natural Way, which you can hear live on InnerlightRadio.com every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On The Natural Way, you will learn about alternative strategies to common medical practices to overcome some of the most common physical and mental maladies in the world today. The program is a live call-in show, so you can engage me by calling 310-928-7733 with your health-related questions. For private consultations, please call my office. That's at 310-419-4372. You can also reach me on the web at Dr. Dr. Nathan, Nathan, Rabb, Rabb.com. Be sure to tune in to The Natural Way every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, live on InnerlightRadio.com. The Healing Frequency. I'm Dr. Nathan Rabb. We see you on the air. Peace.
Historically, our ancestors lived 100% organic and natural, simply grazing off the green earth with fresh fruits and vegetables and blue oceans filled with seafood. Allowing your mind, body, and soul to be naturally healthy is how we were meant to live during this journey of our lives. We invite you to visit The Lifestyle Store. Once again, The Lifestyle Store, for all of your family's health and wellness needs. Simply click on The Lifestyle Store at www.createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Once again, www.createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Keep this in mind. Health is the new wealth.
All right, and we are back with Camille. All right, Camille, let's pick up that conversation.
So we were talking about what to put in it, right?
Yes.
Here's some things you don't put in a juicer. Bananas, mangoes. Bananas are too mushy, and mangoes have more fiber than the juicer can handle. So I tell people I prefer that they eat those solid. Yep. Because bananas, one, have that amazing potassium in it. And that's something that the majority of people are lacking right now. We're mineral deficient. Mm-hmm. It's because our topsoil is such trash now because we've over depleted it. And so potassium in that banana can help with your mood, keep you, and then also with that much needed fiber. Mangoes as well are, oh my God, that is my favorite dose of sweetness. But it's also my favorite source of fiber. And you can tell it when you bite in, and all those little strings are in your teeth. And it's that's fiber right there.
Got that right.
That's that medicine right there. So I do recommend you eat those. There are a lot of, we could go on and on, but those are the main two things you don't want to put in there. The other tip was don't go fruit heavy, 2 vegetables, a fruit. Get very creative, and you don't always have to go sweet. You can go savory, and right. You could take, tomatoes and garlic and onions and create the best, V8 you've ever had. So remember, you don't always have to do the sweet route. Yeah, that's for many people who are beginning. They need that.
Yeah, they don't think about putting onions and things like that in the blenders.
Yeah, so that would be more your blender, and so these
like
are
a soup,
just
kind of like a raw
correct. And definitely if you have something like a Vitamix or a high-powered blender, you can actually heat the food up in the blender.
Yep.
So that's another awesome way. And right now we should be doing root vegetables. So we want to be, grounded. So that would be your carrots and your onions and, garlic, potatoes, yams, I could just go on and on, but
yummy.
Yeah, we want to get grounded and we want to get rooted. We need to be stable right now because look at all the instability in our outside world. And here is the key. If you don't hear anything else I said today, you are what you eat. And it's not just so much what you put in your mouth, but also what comes out of it. And so that's why I encourage all of my juicers and people who follow me to speak life when you're drinking that. Speak it. Tell it where to go. You got tendinitis, you got back pain. Your brain, as Dr. Brooks was explaining, tells your body what to do. So in combination of eating, also speak out and speak life, So that's another beautiful tip. And you can be your own most powerful healer just with using your mind and your body at the same time. So yeah. So that's kind of like the base. I covered a little bit about, what to put in the blender or the juicer.
I absolutely adore what you just said. There's a beautiful author and speaker and social activist. Her name is Angelou. I'm sure we've all heard of her, but if you haven't, go and look up what she says, because I remember watching her in an interview once where she said that words are things, and I memorized what she had to say about it because it was about being careful about the words that we use, because like, don't even allow those things in your home. If somebody toxic walks in your home, she said those words are things, they stick on the walls. So
that's right.
She had said if somebody says something racist or something even contrary to your health, she didn't add that. I'm adding that.
I
but
like it.
Toxic people are going to leave a toxic residue in your being, on your clothes. It's a thing. Yeah. And there are so many wise people who have spoken some wisdom to us like this that goes so unheard, so underrated. Because I mean, what's right there is so true. I think it's why the Bible says, you know, I don't remember the passage. I don't have it memorized, but don't invite the devil into your house. Don't eat food with them. Those are just some of the rules. And I think that's why, you know,
and even as we say grace, being in a state of gratitude opens your blood vessels. Right. It opens your body to receive. And this is why we say grace. And you're right. And when we think about toxic people and things, most of the time we're not thinking about self-talk.
Right.
We're concentrated so much on what other people are saying that we're not recognizing that the most powerful talk is the one that we have with ourselves. What are you saying to yourself when you look in the mirror? What are you thinking when you're eating? What are you thinking right before you go to sleep?
Yep.
So this is a holistic process. So for anyone thinking, oh, I want to change my life and I'm going to juice, that is just a fraction of the steps that it takes to get some real lasting results. You might get a quick fix, but when we're talking about some lasting, like retirement, you're going to have to address the whole self.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love what you say, Rabb, all the time about it's what other people think of me is none of my business.
That's right. That's right.
True.
You know, we got it.
I'm going to tell you, Camille, you sound like a lot of work.
Do I? Ooh, expound on that.
Thank you.
I'll let you know before you get a hold of this lady. Be prepared to do some work.
Oh,
good.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, good. Because I tell them all the time, I'm not your healer. You are. I'm just holding space for you until you figure that out.
Yeah.
So don't put me on that pedestal because I'll fall off.
Well, and I wanted to go back to the medicine and stuff we were talking about. You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I got a second and third opinion," and everybody said the same thing. Well, then I ask, "Who did you see?" Well, this medical doctor, and this medical doctor. And I say, "Well, why would you expect them to have any other opinion than the same one?" So, look at different practitioners of different things. Now, that said, most holistic practitioners, by statutes of their license, cannot, tell you to get off of drugs and how to do that. But you have to sometimes stand up for yourself and say not like, how long will it take to get off this? It's, I'm going to get off of this. Please tell me the best way to do that, because that's what I'm going to do. We have to kind of be forceful sometimes. And, when we take our kids in, we don't have to tell the doctor everything. We need to tell them, what's that. I didn't honestly take my kids there because I didn't want the answers that they were going to give me. I took them to a different kind of doctor, holistic doctor. So just understand that when you walk into somebody's office, they are doing what they say they're going to do. Like a medical doctor is going to do medicine. Don't expect anything but drugs and surgery. Just don't. But if that's not what you want, if that's not what you believe in for health, go somewhere else.
I think you guys are just being a little too truthful in 2021. You guys need to tone this down a little bit.
Finally, some truth.
No. Let's keep it going. Pump it up.
This is the verbal sheriff.
Pump it up.
Pump it up. It's like, let me share this with you. I have people that come into my office all the time, and a lot of them are coming and they're seeking, nano silver. But they always want to ask, would this get rid of COVID? Or whatever, I can't even say the thing right. I said, number one, I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't talk about drugs or whatever. I said, you asked about the silver. I said, it's a natural antibiotic. But I said, as far as me telling you it's going to cure something, You will never hear that come out of my mouth. I said, because I'm not going to tell you it will cure anything.
Exactly.
I said, but
you need to frisk them for the wire.
Right? Well, it's like drugs, though. I mean, drugs are only shown to make a difference, not necessarily the difference you want, but a difference, and that's how they get on the shelves. Everything that has been pulled by the FDA was also okayed by the FDA. Just remember those things.
Yeah, my 42 years in this holistic field, I have not once said to anybody, I can cure anything. And if they ask me, well, can you? I said, no, I can't cure anything. I can teach you how to change your life, clean up your body, eat right, and your body will do the changing. But, you know, they want to, well, will this cure we don't cure anything here. This is a place where you come to learn how to create, you know, the life you want, period.
Well, and let's be realistic. Nobody does. Nobody cures anything. No matter what you did or said, their body either had what it needed to do the things that you wanted to, or it's doing the things that it needs to because of what you're doing to it.
Yeah, you got to feed it right, and it'll grow for you. It'll get well. Feed it right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, Camille and Doc Brookh and Dr. Rabb, this has been a great show. We got to bring it down to a close here. Listen, we want to thank you all for listening today. And leave some comments for us on the Facebook page, Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. Once again, it's Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. We have a post there that Camille put up. If you want to ask some questions, you can do them there. We'd love to hear from you. If you got anything you guys want to discuss this year at all, put it all in there, because we're going to try to get to everyone this year and try to get some of these things that we can do for ourselves handled here. And then maybe we'll bring some people on for some different places that offer different services that you can go to, where you're not having an MRI and all that face all day long. Okay, with that being said, have a great week out there. God bless you.
Peace and love, everyone. Peace.
Hold on, I got the Grammys. Start the music.
Thank you for joining us on the Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. We are a globally hosted show dedicated to sharing holistic lifestyle events, practitioners, products and services, and useful information. Visit our website, createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Once again, createyourholisticlifestyle.com. Of course, our Facebook page is Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. We will see you next week.
Namaste.